just realized how not prepared I am for this, but go on.
Rolling.
I'll read my notes.
5, 4, 3, 2.
I think the best way to emphasize how hard this film is just to tell you the story of when I watched it. So, in preparation for this review. And I had already seen the first Transformers film, and I knew this was supposed to be worse. So I didn't, and as you already know, I did not like the first Transformers movie. And I remember getting an hour through, and checking the time, and I saw it was an hour through, and I said to myself, nothing has happened in this hour of film. And I said to myself, I need a break from this. So I went and I bothered my brother who was playing video games, and he kept on telling me, go and watch the film. And I'm like, I don't want to. It's bad, I don't want to. And then he goes to watch The Fault in Our Stars, and I'm planning, okay, I can finish the movie while he's out. He gets back, I haven't finished it yet. I think I might have gotten 5 minutes more into the movie. And I have never taken this, it took me all day to finish it. I don't think I've ever had taken that long to finish a movie voluntarily. There have been times where it's taken me a while because I've had to, simply by requirement, watch films in small increments, but nothing like this has really happened before.
I really would like to, before I even say my own history with this movie, I would like to say that is a very good point, that it cannot be undersold how difficult it is to get through this movie. It is truly unwatchable, and there aren't that many movies out there that I can honestly give that kind of. I don't like using that word. I don't like using unwatchable to describe movies very often. This is one of those rare exceptions like this. I would hold off giving any other examples just to keep like some sort of suspense of other opinions on other movies if I have a controversial opinion or anything like that. But this movie is insufferable. It's completely, in my own experience, you say it took you all day to watch it that day. For me, at least, I waited. I got home on a certain day at like. I got home at like 2 o'clock, I think it was, and I remember like, I guess I don't have much to do today. I guess I probably could watch Transformers 2 for the purposes of this review to get through it, and then I can just wait for however long it will take to get to doing this review. And what ended up happening was I held off watching it for like 7 hours, and then like I think it was 9 o'clock, 9:30 at night. I'm like, I'm not gonna be able to finish this movie in one go because like this movie is brutally long, and I I got like an hour 45 minutes into it, and it was a combination of the fact that I was tired and I just had enough. I couldn't do this anymore. I think it was around the scene when I think it was when they got to Egypt, and I think that was when I was like, you know what? I don't need this right now. I don't need to continue to watch this. This is trash. I don't think in my entire life, with maybe like 1 or 2 exceptions or something like that, that I've ever seen a movie that so beautifully defines the word trash. There's nothing to this movie at all. There's nothing that even stands out other than just how indulgent this movie is in itself. I've seen this movie before. I saw it in theaters, and I remember my mother being just mortified at how just horribly inappropriate this movie is for all, not just for kids, but for all ages. This movie offends human life and everything. It's offensive to humanity, and that's my review. Not that I'm done here, but if you want the short version, it is offensive to humanity, and is a great representation of how Michael Bay.
If I can interject, I think I said.
Yeah, I said too much. Go on.
I think in the first film, I believe I remember saying that, this was a children's show, and so.
Oh man.
So much of it is so so out there. It's like a raunchy comedy. And not a good raunchy comedy, because there is an art to raunchy comedy. You get good, there are good comedies out there that are inappropriate for children, that are sexual in nature. That
It's still be good though. There are good raunchy comedies out there.
there are. But the problem is, it's not just that it's raunchy; it's juvenile. It's extremely juvenile. It's like it's like a 14-year-old made these jokes, and
Oh, it's different because a guy that has the mentality of a 14-year-old.
Right, the
wrote
guy
this
has the
joke.
mentality.
Same guy who wrote, I think. Well, this was a collaboration of the guy who wrote the other sequels and the guy who wrote and the people who wrote the first movie. So it's kind of like the worst of both sides of the franchise combined
And-
into just a dreadful,
Well,
just combination.
I think so much of it comes from it's so focused on the Witwickies in this. So on Sam Witwicky in college for like the first hour. For example, there's a scene. So that in this battle scene, they're stealing the shot of the
Allspark.
Allspark, thanks. I forgot his name.
That's right.
And they're showing it. And there's
It's
a
not
battle
a
going.
creative name anyway.
Yeah,
so.
and there's a battle going on, and then it cuts to a frat party, and I'm thinking to myself, yes. I watched Transformers, a show about giant robots that was made for children. To watch frat parties. Yes,
It's
that's why I watched this show.
I think what can't be undersold is I think one of, and it's so hard to say the worst thing about this movie, but if I were gonna say one of the worst things about this movie, I would have to say just how you mentioned in the first movie where if there's something you don't need, cut it. Like
Yeah.
you don't just like if it doesn't need to be there, don't leave it in the movie. The what do we gain from Sam going to college? What do we learn about the character? I mean, in the first movie, he's established to be an everyday schlub who all he really thinks of is I can get the car so I can get the girl, and beyond that, there's nothing
Right.
more to him. He doesn't get good grades. What does he want to study at
He's-
college? Why is it?
No,
Honestly,
yeah.
what would have been interesting if it was like I don't want to go to college. What if that happened, and maybe you had something new with the character other than the most cliched thing
Right,
that
and
he goes to college.
what I don't say
Wacky
is true.
hijinks
It's
can
not
we
like-
waste time with by going there?
Right, it's not like he's doing anything original at the college. It's something that there's so many
going to
films that come a
astronomy
very
class.
similar ground in a very similar fashion. And what I have a huge problem with is that they don't have to tell us what he majors in at college. But
No,
they don't have to. But I should be able to know the character enough that I could speculate, at very least speculate about that. And he's going to Princeton, and I don't see any evidence that he's that intelligent. The first film,
There was that scene when he was saying like, "Oh, I got a B. I gotta try to raise my grade so I can get it like
Yeah.
into the A range." You're not going to an Ivy League school if you're not getting consistent A's or something like that.
yeah, I mean, he's like, I need 5 A's, and so the type of deal sort of suggests that he's not particular. In the first film he has with his
Well,
father, suggests he's not particularly intelligent. But he's going to Princeton, which is apparently a party school now.
Oh yeah. Everyone at this college the entire college is populated only by guys who have like the biggest arms in the world and like double D'd, only short wearing like women that wear too
Right.
much makeup. It's like Michael
I mean,
Bay's
and-
fantasy. It's
and I'd like to say something.
disgusting,
Wait.
honestly.
And I can say something. You look at the first film. At the very least, the first film had the Australian girl who she did nothing, but she wasn't a sex object. In this
Sure.
film, can you think of a single female character at all, in any way, anyone, no matter how big the role, who is not a sex object?
I would say the mom, but it's actually kind of
Okay.
sad that at the same time they do kind of.
Yeah,
Do that,
they
actually?
kind of do that.
No, they
yeah.
kind of do. It's really uncomfortable when those scenes come up when like the dad is like smacking her and that kind of stuff. Not like domestic violence, but I'm sorry.
It's
No,
a little
it's
too heavy a
it's-
topic
it's-
for Michael Bay.
that actually involve research, and and apparently Michael Bay can't even do enough research to to find out how like the rotation of the world works because they transfer from one side of the world to the other side of the world, and it's sunny on both sides that they transport on. But other than that, no, everyone is just like the most generic, shallow, like caricature of every single group of humanity. It's honestly very uncomfortable to watch after a while, and it's a miserable experience to watch
I go
any
through
character.
the first hour, and what got me was just how long I had been through. It didn't feel like I had gone through anything. The first, it's just, and I mean it when I say the entire first like hour of the film.
Nothing happens.
Yeah,
things
happen.
things are happening, but they don't have any consequence. There's no reason. The only thing
And
that by
very
an hour
really,
into
the things that happen take up like 5 minutes each time they come up, and most of that hour, I'd say a good 2/3 of that first hour.
I mean 40 minutes. Say 40 minutes. Go on.
Okay, 40 minutes of that hour is the college and what what Sam is doing at the college and getting prepared for the college and his mother eating a pot brownie.
Do people who get high attack other people? Is there a study that I can look at that? Because because I would think that if you started smoking pot, you would be like, oh, I'm gonna sit down and kind of just be calm, and I'm not gonna run across the campus of the college and just
I don't think
tackling
she acts
people.
high.
No,
I don't think
she's
high.
on like
Now,
cocaine or something
well,
like
here's
that.
the thing. I don't. That's possible. That I'm completely wrong. I have never seen a man while they are high, but at the same time, a woman while they're high, I guess, because it's a woman. She's a woman.
Allegedly.
Allegedly. I have no proof of that. Of course, don't have documentation. But she doesn't sell that she's high at all.
She doesn't sell comedy,
She doesn't sell.
and that's all
Yeah.
she's there to do. These parent characters are just one of the plethora of comic relief characters. I don't think there's a single character in this movie that is not somewhat comic relief. Like it is so like I don't think I've ever seen a movie where every single character has a purpose of comic relief to the point that like
That wasn't
not
a
even
comedy.
what.
That wasn't a comedy.
No, just any movie, like even comedies. Like there, you
even
sometimes you have
comedies,
the
yeah.
straight. Sometimes you have a straight man in there, like throw him in there to have some kind of
Oh, yeah,
reactions
sure.
off of. I mean, there's